Hi, Cindy Cross here from the Post and Rail, and today I'd love to talk to you about turkeys and Christmas. And Christmas is right around the corner, so I've come up with a couple of things you can do that just takes the pressure off Christmas, so you're not sort of stuck roasting a great big turkey at the last minute. And secondly, you just know that it's going to work, so it's like a no-fail, stressless, easy recipe. So I've actually purchased a size 30 turkey, where it has 2 big turkey breasts on the frame and it weighed 3 kilos in total. I think a lot of it was bone, however, it cost me $30, so that leaves me 2 turkey half breasts or 2 breasts of turkey for $15 each, which is quite good value actually. And it's not one of the stuffed already pre-dealt with ones, because I like to get my flavours going. So what I actually did with one of them is cut them in small portions, wrapped them in puff pastry, and I pocketed them with brie and a cranberry little sauce reduction that we made. But then I was thinking, oh, perhaps we could do that on a larger scale. So imagine a bit like a beef Wellington, and you're bringing this pastry wrapped turkey breast to the table, and you can carve across it and it would look sensational. Secondly, because it's wrapped in pastry, there's no way it's going to be dry. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Now, we don't actually need the fat. If this was going in the oven, by the way, you could just pop this straight in the oven as is, and because of the fat over the breast, you would get a really delicious cut of meat, and it would be tender. If it's skinless and you're putting it in a dry roasting oven, you're going to get in big trouble. So what the good thing is, and I don't need this little winglet here, so I'm actually going to remove that, and I might roast that off because I've left the fat on it. So what we've got here is a pretty cool looking breast piece. Well, that's a big lot of fat. So no one wants a gob full of fat. But here we've got this lovely, lovely piece here. Now this is enough, believe it or not. This size here would be enough for about 6 people. It really does get bigger in the oven and look really good. So all I'm going to do is egg wash a couple of bits of pastry together and then wrap them up en croûte style. When you say en croûte, it's always worth more, so we're going to call it turkey en croûte. Alright, so I've just cracked an egg in a bowl, and I always egg wash the base of whatever I'm doing with pastry. And the reason for that, and there's a technical reason, which I'm sure you like as much as I do, but the egg white coagulates at quite a small temperature. If you've ever fried an egg in a pan, the egg white always cooks first, which means that by putting an egg wash layer here on this pastry, when the pastry heats up by being in the oven, it's going to coagulate the egg white and it's going to seal. And when it seals, that means you don't get a soggy bottom of pastry. Nobody likes a soggy bottom, particularly not when we're talking pastry. So I'm basically going to egg wash the base of this, carefully painted just like that. There's a little Picasso right there on. Then I'm going to put the whole turkey breast, which I've wrapped up. Just kind of got it together. And then I'm going to wash my hands, separate the cranberries out of the bag, and they'll be back. So we need some salt and pepper for seasoning. So imagine all the juices from cooking is actually going to remain in this pastry, because we're going to seal it up. The egg wash is in there, which means it's going to actually seal the pastry itself, so it gets a chance to actually bake and do its layers, and it's going to be delicious. Now in Australia, I've never seen fresh cranberries ever to buy, so we have some dried cranberries here. Just going to give this a little layer on the top. Perfectly placed, of course. Well, you could actually put them in the middle, but I don't really mind. I quite like the fact that being encased in this pastry, they're actually going to reconstitute in the time it takes to bake this turkey in the oven. It's actually going to go again. Now, I'm not sure if I need to put, I think I do need to put a piece of pastry on top. I was just seeing if I could get away with it. Egg wash, everything. There we go. Now, if I put it on the diagonal, ooh, that's gonna look pretty. So this is just puff pastry. Now feel free to do this with chicken and pesto or any kind of meat, or lamb is really good as well. So I've just brought that up to make a kind of an attractive side, if you will. I'm just going to see, what do I need? I think I will bring it around and curl it up. You can do it however you want. I do like the little pastry bits, and when I cook pastry I always like to take it to just on burnish, which is a bit further than sort of golden brown. One step shy of burnt. It's a joke in our household that I never burn anything, I just burnish a lot of stuff, but sometimes that's where the flavour's at. So it's already looking quite festive. It's going to be delicious. Now I just know that the size of that breast that's in there, it's going to take about 30 to 35 minutes to cook in a hot oven. And in that time, the cranberries will have absorbed the steam and the juices from the turkey. The pastry will have cooked into its delicious flaky layers, and you just know it's going to be great. Okay, so that I'm going to put on baking paper. I'll just give you a, it's like a giant pasty. There we go, that's it there. Okay, however, I'm going to egg wash it, of course. Now the egg wash on the outside is merely for looks, and it will help burnish the pastry. But also, I'd like to put a little, like a star, a Christmas star or something. I don't know, am I feeling festive? Am I feeling, I should write gobble, that's what I should do, but let's see, what's the easiest? So cute. Alright, that looks very Christmassy. Baking paper is my best friend. I do love it. And I don't like dishes, and that's why I love it. So that's looking really sweet. Let's have a little up close there. So that's it, ready to go in the oven. One more, if I can find it, embellishment. Maybe. So one more embellishment. Whenever I'm putting something in pastry that's a white meat, I like to put sesame seeds on top. And if I'm doing a dark meat, I like to put poppy seeds. Okay. A preheated 200-degree oven. And I'm going to cook it at 200 degrees Celsius as well. I'm going to leave it there. And that way you will get that burnish of pastry, because I really don't like the pastry that's just 2 or 3 layers down to be undercooked. That's why I take it to burnish. And that way you get this whole flaky thing actually happens. But if you underdo it, you will definitely have some soggy, just a couple underside pastry bits, because it's not quite cooked properly. So I'm going to preheat the oven, and then I'm going to pop it in. Okay, so it's been about 35 to 40 minutes, and now it's the moment of truth. Here we go. Ooh, it smells amazing. And also, I'll show you up close. See the little, see how I can tell it's burnished. not just lightly golden. It's a really good trick if you guys get in the habit. So look at that deliciousness. And if you get into that habit of just taking it an extra 5 or 10 minutes, you can just tell it's going to be great. Ow, ow, and it's hot obviously, but you can tell there's going to be no soggy bottom there because I've put that egg wash on the bottom. And it's nice and golden. By the time you carve that up into some beautiful pieces, you have got a delicious, delicious thing for your table. And I hope you give it a go. It is just gorgeous, and I'm going to cut it for you, but at the moment it's just still a little bit hot. So once you take it out of the oven, I would at least leave it a good 10 minutes and just let the juices kind of go into the meat and just distribute evenly so that when you cut it, it's not going to steam out and kill the person, whoever's cutting that first original slice. So 10 minutes in here, you know it's going to be cooked. It's going to be juicy because there's been nowhere for the juice to escape, so it's encased in this pastry. So it's absolutely divine, and I can't wait to cut it and show you. And plus I'm hungry, so I can't wait. Hurry up, 10 minutes. Okay, now it's time to cut into this and have a look. So I would love to do that for you. Right across the middle. Ooh, hello deliciousness. Look at that. That is still really hot, and it's been 15 minutes. You can see the layer of the cranberries there. And so to serve, literally just slice across, dish it up table. I'm going to have this for dinner tonight, so I'm going to put it back together. Pretend that never happened. I'm going to chill it down, and then I'm going to reheat it for later. But thank you for watching. I hope you give this a go. This is so easy, and what's more, this is hopefully a hint for you. You can get it to the point of baking it in the oven. So wrap it in the pastry with the cranberry, salt and pepper and the egg wash. Put it on a baking tray ready, just glad wrap it, put it in the fridge, and bring it out the day after. So you can do this Christmas Eve and bring it out on Christmas Day ready to bake. Put it in the oven about an hour before you need it. It'll take about 35 minutes to bake, and then it can rest a little bit ready to serve. It takes the pressure off you. So Christmas Day should be enjoyed and should be fun, not so stressful. Or you can just do this for any other occasion. It doesn't have to be Christmas. But anyway, enjoy.